see if it works. Hi, everybody. Welcome to We Believe in Comics Friday Night Workshops, or welcome back. Here we go. Things are going wrong, so it should be fun to see if I have a nervous breakdown or not. I'm kidding. SAW is a 501c3 nonprofit with online courses, which you can find at learn.sawcomics.org. We've got a few interesting courses coming up soon. Bootlegger's Guide to Watercolor with Jess Rolifson, Intro to Writing for Comics with Sarah Maloney, and Print Ready Comics with Donna Trucanis. And next week at Friday Night Comics, Abby Kaysen, Memories of Fandom, November 3rd. Hope you join us then. Justice Course Bootlegger's Guide to Story starts November 8th. Again, you can find this and other courses at learn.sawcomics.org. Beth's class coming up soon, Story Structure Basics and How to Use Them. You can find it all here at learn.sawcomics.org. Wherever you are in your comics journey, SAW has something for you. We survive from tuitions and donations. If you donated tonight, thank you very much. You can also support us at PayPal or Patreon, or consider a sustaining member donation. And also, we've got merch now. Oh my gosh, have you seen some of the t-shirts? They're amazing. I don't see a website, but it's there. Poke around and you'll find it. If Tom gave me the website, it would be on the slide, but I don't have it. Okay. Hey, at the end, share your work. If you don't get to share it tonight, put it there on the social media with the hashtag Friday Night Comics and or at Comics Workshop. It's fun to see what everybody comes up with. Some people are slow like me. They don't finish on Friday night. They may, take it all the way till Tuesday. Put it up there so everybody can see. It's a lot of fun. Please, no inappropriate speech or images, no trolling or hate speech or explicit language. Sometimes we have children in the audience. Keep it PG-13. And I don't like to, state this as an order to enjoy, but if you're capable of enjoying things, I hope you do. Tonight, we have drawing buildings as main characters with Kit Fraser, right? Soft S, not Z. You can find Kit at, I have this fear of botching people's names. Anyway, you can find Kit on Instagram at Kit Cadoodle. And is this true? Here's a book that you did, Be Wary the River. Is that right? Was I informed?
Yes, among others.
Among others. So
Yeah.
check that out. And that's it. Kit, I hand the reins over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Michael. And thank you, SAW, for having me. I'm super excited. I'm like a big fan of Friday Night Comics. I think it's so cool to have people from all over come together, make comics rock. So I'm happy to be here and honored to play host tonight. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm going to share my screen. There will be no technical issues tonight. It's going to be awesome. All right, sharing in full screen. Is this working out?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, welcome to my workshop, Drawing Buildings as Main Characters with Kit Fraser. That's me. Michael, you did a great job pronouncing my name. So here I am. This is me. I'm Kit, and this is my dog, Tukes. I use she, her pronouns, and I live in the Hudson Valley in New York. And I make comics, and I illustrate, and I also host workshops like this, like art education, storytelling, facilitate storytelling workshops, all that kind of good stuff, really fun stuff. So some of, let's see, I cursed myself by saying no technical issues. Here we go. Here are some of my mini comics. These are all self-published and you can find them on my website. Save for this little guy here, which is a little pop-up kids adventure comic coming soon. But I will say, you can actually just read that whole thing on my website. It started as a web comic. So, but the imprint thing is coming, imprint version coming soon. So yeah, I really love to pull from real life, but bring it into like a weird, surreal world. So pulling from life, making it weird, that's sort of where I go with my self-published stuff. And I also really love incorporating humor in my work. So I also have been very fortunate to have some work published with the New Yorker. That's also sort of my humor side coming out. So these are some gag cartoons that have been published in the magazine and online. And I've also done some Daily Shouts comics. So they're not gag cartoons, but they're like a little slightly longer comics that are on their Daily Shouts page there. Yeah, you can see more of my work and connect with me on Instagram. I would love that. I would really love it in addition to posting your comics if you feel like it tonight and you hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag me so I can see all of your awesome fun work that you'll be making tonight. That would be super cool. Yeah, so let's see. Here we are, buildings as main characters. I think to start though, we're gonna just do a warm-up, a very quick warm-up. So I might just stop share for a moment. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So before we jump into our main exercise, we're gonna do a few minutes of warm-up to get our just kind of like hands loose, tap into our imagination a little bit. I'd love for you to get a fresh page of paper if you don't have it already, your drawing implement as well. And we're gonna take a nice big deep breath and we're gonna choose an emotion, absolutely any emotion. Maybe something you're feeling right now or something you felt this week. Choose an emotion and just spend a couple seconds putting that down on paper as a squiggle. So really no wrong way to do it. Zigzag, loopy, short, long. It's however you feel will best translate the emotion to the page. So I think probably most of you have done it. Cool. So now we're gonna take let's say 2 minutes, just 2 minutes to make that squiggle into a character, a person, an animal, a building, if you want to practice. A monster. Monster is my favorite. Can't go wrong with monster. So I'm going to set my timer here and give you just 2 minutes to do the warm-up.
Are you going to be doing it with us, Kit?
Yes. I don't know if I'm going to switch over set up the camera exactly,
Okay.
but I will do it with you. Yes. Cool. That's it. That's time for our warm up. And if you love your drawing, like you could probably share it along with your comic at the end when we're doing share time. Cool. I hope that helped you loosen up, get your creative juices flowing a little bit. I'm going to just share my screen for a little bit while I sort of introduce our topic. Let's see if I'm right. Is that good, Michael? You can.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So yeah, our workshop is drawing buildings as main characters. So yeah, the purpose of this workshop is to have fun and like really lean into things that you already enjoy drawing and creating a building with personality in your comic. So I'm going to run through some examples of buildings with main character energy, if you've like heard that phrase tossed around, main character energy. That's our hope today, is to draw a comic that sort of stars a building with main character energy. So I thought I'd just throw out some examples from comics that are on my shelf that I just remembered and grabbed. And if you want, you can open up the chat and write just like 1 or 2 words that sort of like, what's your impression of this building? What's the vibe you're getting? What is the feeling or emotion that might come up when you see the building or the buildings? If it's like this, it's kind of like an urban setting, right? Just like all together, a city view. So yeah, I'm just going to run through them and you can put in the chat like just what your impression is. Also, maybe it could be just like an observation, like a sort of objective observation, like here's a page from The Arrival. So you could like, this is a dense urban area made up of lots of shapes. There's lots of shapes being used here. It could be something very simple like that, but maybe you want to type in words about like what emotions, what are the buildings saying? If
We're getting some interesting ones like psychedelic theme park, austere, fantastical, hungry.
nice, hungry, a hungry city. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. There we go. I'm going to the next one. So this is from Eartha, which is like one of my favorite graphic novels, actually. And again, I would just any words that come to you, like what's your impression of these buildings? Or maybe there's a specific building that jumps out to you that gives you a strong feeling. You could type in the chat.
Want me to call out what I'm seeing? Can you see the chat?
I think I can. Yeah. Okay, I can see it. I just don't want to block the image, but holy flying buttresses. Pressure. Yeah, imposing. Yeah, so imposing is something that I thought of as well. And the reason I love this book, but I also chose this image because of this. You can see the dynamic between the main character who's down here. If you can see my arrow, I'm not sure, but the main character is down here in the corner. And then there's this huge looming city, ahead. And there's something about, you can feel that dynamic between the character and the city. And that's something to think about tonight when you draw your building, is what's the building's relationship to the character, or other buildings, if there are other buildings around. Okay, I'm gonna move on. All right, this is from Amulet. So again, feel free, type in your impression. And here the building is actually literally a main character that is moving through the world and engaging with other beings. So that's something you could do tonight too. Like, we're close to Halloween. You could do a haunted house. That would be cool. I would love to see a haunted house comic. Let's see what we're getting. Powerful, dislocated, secretive. Ooh, a couple powerfuls. Menacing. Oh, a bunch of powerfuls. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like a powerful house. I agree. Friendly. Nice. It's interesting also that, different people have different feelings about what they see. It's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I think I keep hitting a roadblock. Okay, so the last few examples were fantasy, and I wanted to definitely include a few, or at least maybe just this one, I can't remember. Sort of buildings that have a personality for sure, but they are definitely also grounded in our shared modern reality. Like, this is a building that could exist, right? So, but at the same time, there are words that come to, like, it gives me it to me, I would ominous, secretive, even there's no windows, there's smoke coming out the top. There's just, it definitely leaves an impression, the cracks. So I wanted to give you just the opportunity. You do not have to go to like a fantasy Halloween place with your house comic or your building comic today. You can draw like a simple, this is also a very simple drawing. You don't have to create a building with tons of detail to give it personality. That's the beautiful thing about comics. They can be super simple and still land with an impact. So, oh, this is, I jumped the gun a little. This is exactly what I was just saying. These are two examples. On the left, we have like a very simple, like a mobile home, but it has so much character, right? I think the artist Nate Garcia did a really awesome job with this simple designed mobile home. It says a lot, and it kind of gives me an impression of like, who lives in there. I start thinking up things. And then on the other end of the spectrum, Theo Ellsworth does like beautiful, super detailed buildings. And again, it's different. It's just different. It's not better or worse, but it gives me an impression, and I start thinking like, who goes into that building? What is that building for? So it's just, whether you go simple or detailed, it's just based on what you want and what your story calls for sure. Were there any? Oh yeah. Cool. Sorry, I'm just reading. There's some. Yeah. All right. So I think this is my last slide, hopefully giving you a little like food for thought as you're creating your main character building. Oh, these are real buildings in the world that have so much character. So, all else fails, turn to real life. You can find some pretty wacky architecture out there that's inspiring and fun. But let's make comics. Let's get to it. Because yeah, it's 7:20. Okay, we're gonna do a 3-panel comic. That said, if you want to do 2 panels or 4 panels, who am I to tell you how to tell your story? It is up to you. I'm gonna give you a prompt for 3 panels, but if you have your story, go for it. You're your own boss. I'm just here to give you hopefully a path if you need a path to follow. So these are all things to consider when you are designing your building. Does it move either literally or in the sort of architectural design? Is it simple, or is it have a lot of heavy detail? the size, the shape, emotive line work. So like what we did for our warm up, trying to translate emotion into your lines. That's a great way to infuse personality into your buildings. Doorways, windows, building accessories, like mailboxes, signs, weather vanes, gargoyles. Maybe someone will do a gargoyle tonight. That would be cool too. Yeah. So we're gonna have 4 to 5 minutes per panel. Definitely don't worry about it being perfect because that is an imaginary concept. And lean into like what makes you excited. What are the details that you're excited to draw? I would go for those. And like Michael said, this, you can finish it later. I never finish my comics for Friday Night Comics ever. I always wrap it up in like a day or two. So yeah, take your time if you want. But there'll be about, let's say, 4 minutes per panel. Here is the prompt, should you want it. And also panel layout options, should you want it again. My suggestion, panel 1, you show your main character. Panel 2, show your main character's need or problem. And we did not make a list of problems at the beginning. So, but there's lots of problems in the world, so I'm sure you won't have trouble kind of picking one out of thin air, or from your personal life. And then reveal the building that has the answers or solutions to your character's need or problem. And my suggestion is to give a lot of room to that third panel so that the building really like dominates the page and you have lots of room to have it. That is my suggestion to all of you tonight. And I cannot wait, for real, I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Yeah.
Hey, would it be helpful if I keep time?
I think so. That would be nice. I think, yeah, I'm gonna draw. I actually already sketched my comic, but I'm gonna be drawing it. So inking over. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll keep time.
So let's say like 4 minutes
4
per.
minutes.
Okay, Katie. So the building is not, I'm just reading a question from the chat. The building is not the main character, but a character. It is up to you. Your main character could be the building. In my prompt suggestion, there's 2 characters. There's the character you establish in panel 1, and in panel 2, they have a problem or a need. And then in the third panel, you're introducing the building, which has the solution or is the solution to the problem. Does that make sense? And it's up to you whether you want that building to be like a walking, you know, like an amulet, like a form of transportation, like kind of a walking robot house. Or if you just want it to have a lot of character, like you'll see the comic I drew, it's just a building with a lot of like character and magic kind of thing.
So just to clarify, the main character in panel 1 can be a building itself, but it doesn't have to be? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
For me, it's not like the building is revealed in panel 3 in my,
Okay.
but I leave it, if someone wants just the whole comic to be about this one building, then I would say go for it.
All right. So
Yeah.
we'll start the first panel now.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you're going to switch to camera 2?
Yeah, I'm going to switch. Hang on. I can't have 2 cameras monitoring me, so I'm going to turn this video off.
All right, I'm removing the spotlight. And as soon as you turn the video on camera 2, I'll spotlight it.
Great. Thank you.
And I'll also tell people at the midpoint.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that they're not stunned. that the
Yeah.
first 4 minutes is up?
Yes. Okay. I don't have the best camera rig here. Um,
Okay,
but I did just turn it on, Michael. I don't know if you can
not
see.
yet.
Should I
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Never mind. I got it now. I was looking at your second login. This works. This works fine.
okay, cool.
And don't worry because a little fumbling is part of FNC personality and character. So,
Awesome.
all right, so that's the midpoint of panel one. You have 2 more minutes to try to wrap it up. And don't panic, you don't have to finish everything tonight, and you can show us where you are at the end without having everything done. Okay, that's it for panel one. It's time to move on to panel two. I'll remind you at the midpoint. Okay, you have 2 more minutes for panel 2. Okay, you know what? I think we should take 5 minutes for panel 3 because that's the big one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I
Yeah,
think we should take 30 minutes, but I
30
know
minutes. Okay, 30.
30 minutes for panel 3.
We're changing this to 24 hours comics. We're just going to be
That's
here
right.
through
That's
Saturday night. All right.
the best
So
idea, yes.
I'll warn you at the 3 minute mark. So panel 3 starts now.
Man. How do you spell impeccable?
You got it right.
Oh,
ABLE.
okay. That
Like
would,
like your handwriting is impeccable.
thank you. Yeah, that would be very ironic if I spelled that word. Oops.
All right, so that was 3 minutes for panel 3, and the last 2 minutes starts now. Um, the overall time for panel 3 is 5 minutes. Catherine, and hi, Catherine. But you don't have to finish to share. You can share how far you got, and then you can share the finished version on social media, which is what I usually do. Jillian would love to know what kind of pens you're using, Kit.
Oh, okay. Um, I am using, yeah. So I'm using Sakura Pigma FB is the size. It's a brush pen. Um, and I like it. There's probably I love brush pens. And then I'm just using like a technical pen that I got for Christmas from my brother. King Art ink line. And I'm using the 5 size. Yes. Those are I like a mix of brush and technical pens for my
Yeah. I like the Tombow 2 pack because it gives you a soft brush and then a harder brush tip.
yeah. I like those too. And they come in so many colors, right? Am I thinking of the right?
I think they do, but I just use the black ones.
Okay.
And I either use watercolor or digital for.
Same, same, Michael. Either watercolor or digital. That's like my
So
two key.
technically that's the end of the 5 minutes, but I'm going to give you another 3 minutes to put finishing touches on everything, and then we'll do a share. How's that? Is that fair? Is that nice? Does that work, Chris? Okay, cool.
Honestly, I didn't even start.
That's okay. I'm using Chris's facial expressions to monitor how this is going.
It's a lot of pressure on Chris. Just kidding, Chris.
That's interesting because I use a brush pen on top of my Tombow lines and it doesn't dissolve them. So maybe the color ones are different than the black ones. I don't know. I love getting extra time.
It's yeah, Christmas come early.
And even if you didn't get very far, I hope you'll share anyway. We got a couple more minutes to put in finishing touches or half finished touches. We got about 30 more seconds left. And if you'd like to share, you can start raising your Zoom hand. Yay. A lot of familiar faces raising their hands. Good, 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 good. And more seconds. Right. Kit, this looks like a New Yorker cartoon.
Oh, well, maybe I should submit it. Thank you. Yes, obviously I was a little ambitious in my sketch, but my building was the library of impeccable taste, and it is, because I will finish this comic, it will be a real wacky type of library. And I will
Great.
put it and tag hashtag Friday Night Comics.
It looks beautiful.
Thanks. Okay.
All right, let's see what other people came up with. Let's see, who do I see first? I see Chris, Lori, and Catherine. Hey, Chris.
Hey, okay. So my building, the main character likes to draw outside, but when it rains, he gets, wet. So the building is a building with a bunch of hands on it that can move around and swat away the rain or make a little dry spot, or it can block the sun.
Amazing.
So if you had hands coming out of the roof, what would it help you do?
That's great. I love buildings with limbs. Such a good idea.
Yeah,
That's so
thanks.
awesome.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you. All right, the order changed now. Alan, Catherine, and Marlene. Ask Alan to unmute.
Okay, so I usually do mine on the computer. I don't know if I can share my screen or if I should just hold the tablet up to the camera.
Let me see what I can do there. Hang on. I have some levers here.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
let's me share the screen, but I don't know how that works, so I don't know if it's
okay.
possible.
Yeah, I think you can do it.
Okay,
Go
let's
for
see.
it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so first my emotion was just tiredness. So it ended up being this moon thing, I think. Here was the whoops, see if I can get the original squiggle. No, I guess I can't. Oh well, so let me. The original squiggle was like this part here. Thought I could have them in separate layers so I could turn off the
We
moon.
lost the screen share, Alan.
Oh, whoops, I did. How did I do that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
There we go. Oh, because I know what I did. I hit the wrong key there. But yeah, there's my tired moon, and I thought I had the original squiggle on a separate layer so I could turn it off, but apparently I didn't. Oh well. Well here, I think I can get this. Say it'll be the original squiggle is this part here. I can highlight it at least. And it ended up being a tired moon for some reason, was what came to mind given the squiggle. As far as the comic, I actually ended up kind of doing it the reverse. I had my big building reveal in the first panel because I don't know, it just seemed to work better for the story that I had. So, but still. Nice. So I have I don't know. I just, for some reason, this building, I just felt like drawing this house on stilts in a swamp. And then I had to come up with a story there was about that. So I guess somehow this house grants people's wishes. I don't know. So, oh, great house above the waters, I beseech you. Ha 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 ha. Great house, does my need amuse you? No, no, it's not that. Something is tickling my foot, and the intent here is we see there's a giant salamander or something crawling on the underwater part of its support. So that was my commenting.
I really identify with your moon, by the way. That's exactly how I look at the end of the day.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Alan. I see Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Hello. I really spent almost all my time on the last panel, but first two panels are just somebody shivering in the cold snow and then seeing something in the distance. And then
oh my God.
Just a crazy house of windows because I'm here in Minnesota and it's suddenly gotten really cold here and it's been gloomy for like a week. And I was like, I just want like a place with windows and plants inside and soak in all the sun. And it's really liberating to not care about perspective. So anyway, I usually am all concerned about it and it's so fun not to be. So, and I love the suggestion, Kit, of just focusing on what you wanted to draw because I was like, I just want to draw windows. So
Mm.
My gosh, and it produced a building that I'd like to go to in the winter. Definitely.
Thanks.
Are you, I have to ask, Catherine, are you gonna add color to that? Because
I
I
probably
can,
will. Yeah, I just didn't have time. I'll watercolor it. Yeah.
yeah, my brain, knowing your work from Instagram, my brain already put the color in when I looked at it. That's
What
beautiful.
color should I use?
No, the colors that you use, it was like a future vision.
Okay, cool. I will
Can't wait to
share
see what you do.
and
Yeah,
tag and
cool.
hashtag.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Marlene, but going as goatee tonight.
Goatee indeed. Um, hello, Kit and Michael.
Hi.
I've never drawn houses that look like fruit,
Ooh.
so I'll show you in a minute. My perspective is they are interactive houses
Mm.
that talk to one another and the community in suburbia. They are humanoid with eyes. They cannot move, but they will if they are pushed hard enough. And so they are passionate in making a difference.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Are they edible?
They can be because of what they stand for. And yeah, the first one is the Apple House.
Mm.
And the Apple House is pretty snotty. And she is she's on about clean air and natural products. So she's standing up for her motto in keeping the air unpolluted. The second one is a watermelon house. And she's also hit up and puffed up about the green space to combat toxic emissions in the air. They've had enough, as plants and vegetables and fruit, copying all the toxic air and having to work harder to create a safer and sustainable environment for suburbia. Then the third one is the pear house. And he's on about agriculture and the use of modified fruits and vegetables, which he doesn't agree about, and feels that we should move away from modified fruit and vegetables. Then the last one is the strawberry house. And you can see they all have eyes that are expressive and full of emotion. Kit?
Oh, yeah.
Michael?
Definitely.
And so her view, well, really, sometimes she's a him, because, depends on the day how he or she feels. She's on about a safer way of generating heat and energy to keep the climate safer. They are all, proponents of a better space, a better climate, a safer environment. And I thought, it is in housing where we are affected these days. Our shelter and our peace is invested in our housing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
really
use color to bring the message across.
Yes. Well done.
Thank you.
So, Marlene, I just have to call something out. You didn't just solve one problem.
Yes.
Created houses for, and I think it's more than just 4 problems, because some of these are solving more than one problem. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you so much. Hi, Kathy.
Whoop. Unmute myself. There we go. Hey.
Hi there.
Hi, thanks for this workshop. So I like my little monster, I think, better than what I did. So I drew, just to be a little transparent, we're a little bit sad in our house right now, a little bit of grief going on. So I did a little grieving line and then ended up drawing this little monster. And then my question was, how would I make a house kind of look like it's all feeling when it's sad? And, I don't have the technical abilities that other people were showing, but so I love when Michael's like, doesn't matter, just show your stuff. So I drew my little Cape Cod house
Oh,
and tried to draw my little Cape Cod house grieving.
yeah.
It translates, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
That wobble, definitely.
So, and I couldn't solve it. I'm like, I don't know the answer to that right now. Maybe it's just a clock, like time. So, so I'll sleep on that for finishing it for the solving in the third panel.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing.
I think maybe that is the solution, a house that can emote with and for you. I don't know.
Mm.
That's,
Right?
yeah, just beautiful. Thanks so much for sharing.
You bet.
Jackie asked to unmute.
Um,
Hi,
I
Jackie.
did, I did a worry, a little like a worry monster on the other
Oh my
page.
God.
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
Thanks. Cause I dropped my daughter off at this Halloween thing, and she was very insistent upon sitting alone and not sitting with other people. And so I'm like, "Oh, she's okay." This is a cat, and its problem is it's bored. So I made a whole, like, I was inspired by that kindergarten house kit that you showed. So there's like all the things that a cat could possibly want in a house.
Yes,
And I made a fountain, a milk fountain, and there's boxes and toy mice everywhere. So.
And the red carpet tongue leads
Yes.
up to the couch.
Yeah, and you can scratch. Unlike our couch, you can scratch. The cat is allowed to scratch that couch.
It's great.
and the eyes are fish tanks. I'd like to live
Yes.
in that house.
It's pretty awesome.
Lots of nooks for sleeping. So
Thanks so much for sharing
thank
that,
you.
Jackie. I see Linda.
Hello, everyone. What a fun event this is. So here's my zooming out version of it.
Wow.
But this reminded me of when I used to work at IBM, and I would stand at the windows and look at the people who were mowing the lawns and going, I wish I could be out there mowing the lawn instead of writing software. So I am so stressed. And you got the sad clock, not the happy clock that you see in all the courses. Here's the sad clock. But look out there, there's greenery. Oh, there's life out there. And then here's the life. The house isn't very detailed because it's sort of a hobbit house up in a tree. So there it is. It's round. It's got a round door, but it's got grass on it. It has a snail. And all these animals are welcoming our poor office worker. So we have a squirrel that says, work from home. Abandon your office, say the bluebirds. Come here with us. Enter the stream of life. And then here he is. He's taken off his suit, left that heaped over here. He's just in comfortable clothes again. And he's so happy. So, tree of life.
Yes.
Abandon your office.
Inspire workers everywhere.
I love how, I mean, you led with the house is so small, but I love that you drew the whole world around the house.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Great job. Thank you so much. I see Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hello. So my line was about delight. Delight was my emotion. Oh, it's a little dark over here. And I made my delight character. And for the comic, I wanted to stay on the happy side. So yes, I would love to live together. Great. I found the perfect house for us. And I just wanted to draw something sweet and cute.
Aww.
So that's where I landed. Thank you. This was so much fun.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Laura. Megan, there you are. Unmute and
Oh, so mine is I work in libraries, and as you probably have watched the news, there's a lot of book challenges going around lately, and a lot of some libraries have even been defunded because of this. So I have a person wondering if anyone's felt this way, what they I can't read my own writing. This person is confused. And then they hear it's basically a combination of Howl's Moving Castle and a bookmobile. So I just imagine this thing wandering this countryside like the Howl's Moving Castle did. So.
Gosh, I would like a visit. That's awesome. And library work is so important. Kudos to you for doing it.
Thanks for sharing that, Megan. Cheryl.
Hey, so I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona at a collage retreat with a whole bunch of friends. So I ran outside and I drew the house. And I don't have a problem, but I just started writing down the things I was hearing people say. I think the best one was, if there was an apocalypse right now, we'd be all set in this house. We would probably have to boil an elk for glue. And then someone or like could flour.
Wait, your audio
I'm
broke
gonna-
up, Cheryl.
I'm
We
gonna-
got right after you said for glue. Couldn't hear you what you
Uh-oh.
said after that.
For glue. Okay. And then someone interrupts and they say, couldn't we just use flour? So I think I'm going to continue adding to this through the weekend with things people say. So thank you. This was great.
That's a really
Beautiful.
cool. That like bringing the house alive with all the dialogue is that's a great idea.
I love how you just ran with it and made it your own. Great job. Thanks for sharing. Bharati?
Hi, so here are my 3 panels. In the first one, there is a tree, and tree is the main character. In the second one, the tree branches are touching the roof of the house, and in the third one, the house is angry and that tree is cut. So basically, this is the conflict between the tree and the house, who should have the right to be on that land, and it's just coming from like all the crazy things going on in the world right now. So sorry for
Wow.
the sad story.
Yeah.
And the house is so like 3 stories. It's kind of austere a little bit. I really like this comic.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I see Edgar, Michaela, and Tim.
Hi there.
We can't hear you, Edgar. Did you get a prompt to unmute?
Uh-oh.
Let me try again. Ask to unmute.
There we go.
There it is.
Hey, thank you, Kit and Tom, as always, for this opportunity. I decided to go back and walk around an old neighborhood. It's called Walking Around the Neighborhood. The first panel, I'm walking the fence in back of the stranger's house where we had our secret clubhouse. Hey, Edgar, where have you been? I haven't seen Fraser, Petey, Eddie, or Kevin in 60 years. And you see the secret loose panels or for boards for entry. And I respond sadly, I'm sorry. We all grew up and went our separate ways. You were a swell place to be when I was 9 years old. And then I walk to a house, and there's a garage and roses at childhood home. There's a garage door, and inside the garage door was a wooden backstop that my father put so we could practice tennis. Wooden backstop with tennis court line. And the roses, the garage is saying, hey, Edgar, practice your backhand on me. And the roses say on the trellis, we roses bloom every May for you. And I say a little sadly, I don't own the house anymore. Then we go down to the green lot up the street, and the trees there say, we are sorry, Edgar. They planted us trees 40 years ago in the middle of green lot, so you boys can't play baseball anymore. And I reply, that's okay. The Citizens Association was real stupid. And now, as I walk down the block, I see a row of houses. The houses on your block still love the Russell family. And I say, I love you too. So many happy and poignant memories. Live long, my friends. So that's my little story tonight.
That's great.
Wow.
It's so full of nostalgia. It makes me want to walk around my childhood neighborhood.
We'll do it before it all disappears, and hopefully it'll be just the way you remembered it.
Yes, I will. I'm going to do that soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Edgar. Michaela?
Hey, everybody. I have a story of 3 panels. It's houses standing on the street. Seeing this is such a boring town.
Oh.
And a house in the shape of a dog rolls by. And then they say, yay. And I did it using little panels. Like this is the sketchbook that I used. And then I had these little.
Oh my goodness.
And I just copied them. I printed out the screenshot, like I did this, like a screenshot, and here's the dog house. Or whatever it is, the creature house.
That's very smart.
Thank you. This is very fun, as always. Thank you very much.
Chris asks if that's a Winnedogo.
Yeah,
So-
oh, that's a great name for it.
We have 4 more shares. Tim, Emma, Rachel, and Nancy. Tim's up next.
Hey everybody. Thanks for the prompts. I always enjoy doing this. Is my second time doing this. So the first emotion that I thought of was sadness for the prompt. And then I wanted to make it slightly specific. So I decided to do background sadness through this, and then realized that this really can't be turned into a character or a monster. So I kind of simplified it and then turned that squiggle into, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of like a guy on his knees and he's sad and he's wearing a propeller hat.
Yeah.
And so then I took that character and I turned him into the background sadness 3-panel comic. So here you have the guy across the street and he's looking at some people across the street. So he's in the background feeling sad that he can't be involved. And then here's the second panel of him contemplating his lonely melancholy. And then the final panel with the building is this one right here. So you can see he's kind of standing really small in a darkened archway to what looks like a really large factory with some antenna on top. And so one of the things that I found interesting about this exercise is that I didn't really know where it was going. So I ended up just drawing this factory building, and I honestly don't know how it would solve his problems of background sadness, but it's interesting imagining what story could unfold and how a building like this would be able to solve that emotional problem. So
yeah, thank you for sharing. That's great.
Beautiful, Tim. Thank you.
It did capture that background sadness feeling, I think, with those
Hey,
drawings.
how are we doing on time? Because I think what's happening is people are finishing and then they're raising their hands. Do you have a little more time to go into?
Oh yeah, I can hang out.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I see Emma next. Hi, Emma.
Hi. So I had to step out a little bit during the instructions, so I'm not 100% sure I did it all right. So here's my character, and she's saying, I finished my whole stack of books. This happens to me a lot. And then she says, if only the library weren't closed after 5. And then she says, wait, is that really the Walking Night Library, Arboretum Tea House, and Chess Cafe? So I'm just starting to ink it, but there is library shelves on the outside, so you can just walk past and take something, or you can go inside. And then up at the top, there's a cafe. It's a big greenhouse at the top, and there's more bookshelves, and there's lots of teapots, and there's a big chandelier, and then there's trees growing inside the greenhouse, and ivy climbing up outside all the walls, and lots of lanterns, because I decided that was my detail I really wanted to focus on. So I also did a walking library, so like Megan did. But yeah, thank you.
More library appreciation, the better, I say. I'm all about it.
Nice theme. I think like books and sadness is the big themes of the night.
No. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello. So I've been really obsessed with my dog zine that I've been trying to write, and so I was still thinking about it and how I never draw buildings. I usually avoid backgrounds at all. So you can see my first panel has no background, and then my second panel should have had more words, but I'm saying you're going to be okay, G. We're just getting a diagnosis. And then there's my building, and it's COVID, no visitors. It has no windows, and it looks kind of creepy and like not a great place, and you don't get to go in.
Yeah, it's very solemn. Definitely solemn feeling building.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Rachel. Here's Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
I mean, Nancy.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, so here is a little cat who gets thrown out of a car, and then he's sitting outside in the rain and he doesn't know where to go. And so he comes up the driveway to my house.
Oh.
We take him in. And then there's other cat stuff on the porch, so he knows he's welcome.
That's awesome. That's great.
I hope that building and Jackie's building are in the same neighborhood. That would just be a great place for cats. Thank you, Nancy. Now, is it Michaela? Is this a different Michaela or the same Michaela? I don't know.
It's the same, Michaela. Oh, I should have lowered my hand.
Oh, that's okay.
I'll do that right now.
How about Michael Wu then? Michael, I haven't seen you in a while, Michael.
Hi, this is called Quaking. So it's 3 panels about a 3-story building showing before, during, and after an earthquake. First one basically shows 3 stories. There's somebody sitting there in a chair. There's a tree in front. The middle panel shows it during the earthquake, when the building's shaking. The rain spout is still standing there, but the building is quaking. And then the third panel shows after the quake, and you can see the person who was sitting in the chair is now trying to jump out the window. The tree's a little more crooked. The flower pots fell off from the 3rd floor. So that's the picture. But as I was drawing it, it occurred to me, maybe this is how Frank Gehry developed his architectural style, because he comes from earthquake country. So maybe that's how he got all these curves in his building.
Yeah. That theory is true. That's great. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, I see Pamela and then Jamie. The first person to go on camera can go next. Pamela, Jamie, camera. I can't spotlight you until somebody turns their camera on. Oh, Jamie won.
Here we go. It's all pencil and it's not fully formed, but let's try it. So, okay. This building is hi, I'm a 100-year-old building on the corner of Broadway and Question Mark. I have several sister buildings throughout the city, but I've never met them. Almost all old people live here. All right, I'm not disparaging old people, but I'm just for the sake of the comic. That's the setup.
Oh, nice.
Then, all right, then it's like clouds and thunder and stuff, and the angels that are the cherubs on the side of the building are suddenly sad. So I feel like I've been lonely for like 100 years. Right, and then she's like sad, and there's like I don't know, this kid is he threw the laundry out the window, so it looked like a tear. I was gonna do some stuff with that. It's not fully formed, like I said. Anyway, this young family moved in. I love the little girl and her dollhouse the best. So then that's gonna be this guy. And it's like the building's like happy now, and it says, oh, it's like I had a little baby and I'll never be lonely again. And then the kid is coming out of the mouth of the building with her own little dollhouse. And she's like, I love my new building. And the building is like, I love my new family. And the family has a dollhouse that looks like the building. I was trying to be meta. I don't know. It didn't really work. But I tried. All right. Thanks for this. This was great. I'm going to turn my camera off now because I turn bright red when I talk. Okay. Bye.
Thanks for sharing, Jamie. I think Pamela disappeared. So this is usually the time that we all go unmute. Unless, Kit, do you have any closing thoughts before we say goodnight?
I think just like thanks for coming and hanging out, making comics with me. I don't really have any, and yes, please tag me. I love all of these comics, so I would love to see more. Please tag me so I can see them. That's it.
So if everybody could go unmute and just say hi, good night, thank you, whatever you want to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank
you. I loved
Thank
it.
you.
Thank
So
you.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love your
Thank
shirt
you.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah, the shirt is awesome.
Keep coming back to Friday Night Comics. Keep making comics, everybody.
Yeah.
Michael. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Thanks so much, Kit. It was great.
Thanks,
Great
Mike.
prompts.
Yes, thanks for emceeing. It was awesome. Very fun. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.